Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting video on Yo-Yo the Entertainer. In this video, we shall be shining the light on one of Africa's hidden gem, and we shall be presenting everything you need to know about this beautiful country. We are talking about Zambia. If you love Zambia and want to know more about the country, please like this video and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification so you don't miss any of our videos. 1. Zambia has a long and varied history. The area that is now Zambia was home to various indigenous tribes and kingdoms for centuries before the arrival of European explorers and colonizers in the 19th century. In 1888, the British South Africa Company established control over the region, which became known as Northern Rhodesia. Zambia gained independence from the United Kingdom on October 24, 1964, with Kenneth Kaunda as its first president. After independence, Zambia was led by a one-party socialist state under Kaunda until 1991, when multi-party democracy was restored. The country has since faced challenges such as economic decline, high debt, and political instability at times. However, Zambia has also made progress in areas like healthcare, education, and infrastructure development. Today, Zambia is considered a relatively stable multi-party democracy in southern Africa, rich in natural resources and wildlife, though poverty and inequality remain significant issues. 2. Zambia is a landlocked country located in southern Central Africa, covering an area of over 752,000 square kilometers. The landscape is dominated by high plateaus, with an average elevation of around 1,200 meters above sea level. Major rivers in Zambia include the Zambezi, Kafue, and Luangwa, which flow through the country. Zambia has a tropical climate, with a rainy season from November to April and a dry season from May to October. The country is home to diverse ecosystems, including savannas, wetlands, and dense forests, as well as the famous Victoria Falls on the border with Zimbabwe. Zambia is endowed with rich mineral resources, particularly copper and cobalt. 3. Zambia has a population of over 20.2 million people as of 2024. The country has a young population, with a median age of just 18.1 years. Over 60% of Zambians are under the age of 24. The major ethnic groups in Zambia include the Bemba, Tonga, Chua, Lozi, Nsenga, Tumbuka, Lunda, Kond, Luvale, and Ushi. English is the official language, while Bemba, Nyanja, Tonga, and other local languages are also widely spoken. Christianity is the dominant religion, practiced by around 95% of the population. Urbanization has been increasing, with over 40% of Zambians now living in urban areas, primarily in the capital Lusaka and the Copperbelt region. 4. Zambia is a multi-party democratic republic with a presidential system of government. The country has had a relatively stable political landscape since independence in 1964, despite some periods of political and economic challenges. Zambia transitioned from a one-party state to multi-party democracy in the early 1990s. The president serves as both the head of state and head of government, and is elected to a 5-year term. The current president is Hakainde Hichilema, who took office in 2021 after defeating the incumbent. The National Assembly is the legislative body, with members elected through a mix of constituency-based and proportional representation. Overall, Zambia is considered to be one of the more politically stable countries in southern Africa. 5. Zambia has a largely market-based economy that is heavily dependent on the mining and export of copper and other minerals. Copper production and exports make up a significant portion of the country's GDP and foreign exchange earnings. In addition to mining, Zambia's economy also relies on agriculture, tourism, and some manufacturing. The country's GDP was estimated at around $29.5 billion in 2024, with a GDP per capita of around $1,400. However, Zambia faces economic challenges such as high levels of poverty, income inequality, debt, and unemployment. The government has made efforts to diversify the economy and attract foreign investment, but progress has been slow. Overall, Zambia's economy remains vulnerable to fluctuations in global copper prices and other external factors. 6. Zambia has a mixed healthcare system that includes both public and private providers. The public health system is overseen by the Ministry of Health and provides basic healthcare services through a network of hospitals, clinics, and health posts across the country. However, the public healthcare system is underfunded and faces challenges such as shortages of medical supplies, equipment, and qualified personnel, especially in rural areas. To supplement the public system, there is a growing private healthcare sector that caters to those who can afford it. Private hospitals and clinics, as well as traditional and alternative medicine practitioners, provide additional healthcare options. Overall, access to quality, affordable healthcare remains a significant challenge for many Zambians, particularly those living in remote or impoverished areas. The government has worked to expand universal health coverage, but progress has been slow. 7. Zambia has a national education system that consists of primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. Primary education is free and compulsory for 7 years, followed by 5 years of secondary education. The country has made strides in improving access to primary education, with a net enrollment rate of around 90% as of recent years. However, quality and retention remain challenges, especially in rural areas. At the secondary level, enrollment rates are lower, and there is a shortage of qualified teachers and learning resources. Zambia has several public and private universities, as well as technical and vocational training institutions. The University of Zambia is the largest and oldest public university. Overall, while progress has been made, the education system still faces issues of equity, quality, and funding, limiting the educational attainment of many Zambians. 8. Zambia has a relatively well-developed transportation infrastructure, though challenges remain, especially in more remote areas. The country's road network is the primary means of transportation, with a total road length of around 67,000 kilometers, though only about 20% of these roads are paved. Major highways connect the capital Lusaka to the Copperbelt region and neighboring countries. Rail transport is also important, with a network operated by Zambia Railways that connects the Copperbelt to Livingstone and links to rail systems in neighboring countries. Zambia has several international airports, including the main hub in Lusaka, as well as domestic air routes. However, air travel remains expensive and inaccessible for many. Water transport is limited, but utilized for cargo shipments along major rivers and lakes. Overall, Zambia's transportation system, while functional, requires further investment and upgrading to fully meet the country's economic and social needs. 9. The cost of living in Zambia can be considered moderate compared to other African countries, but it can still be a challenge for many Zambians, especially those living on low incomes. Rental prices, particularly in the capital Lusaka, make up a significant portion of monthly expenses for most households. Food costs can also be high, with staple items like maize, vegetables, and meat taking up a large share of household budgets. Utility bills for electricity, water, and internet/telecommunications are also substantial expenses. The high cost of living is exacerbated by factors like inflation, currency fluctuations, and income inequality. While the wealthier segments of the population can afford a comfortable standard of living, many Zambians struggle to make ends meet due to the overall elevated cost of basic goods and services. The government has made efforts to address cost of living challenges, but progress has been gradual. 10. Zambian cuisine is diverse and reflects the country's various ethnic and regional influences. A staple food is nshima, a thick maize porridge that is often served with meat, fish, or vegetable relishes. Common proteins include beef, chicken, goat, and river fish like bream and kapenta. Popular vegetable dishes include bonongwa, pumpkin leaves, chibwabwa, pounded cassava leaves, and ndalil, cowpea leaves. Spices and seasonings like chilies, garlic, onions, and tomatoes are widely used. Traditional drinks include mankoyo, a fermented maize beverage, and mahiu, a non-alcoholic drink made from maize meal. Zambian cuisine has increasingly incorporated global influences, but it retains its distinct local flavors and ingredients. These are 5 things people should avoid doing in Zambia. 1. Drinking tap water. The water supply in many parts of Zambia is not always safe for drinking, as it may be contaminated. Visitors should stick to bottled or purified water. 2. Taking photos of people without permission. Zambians generally value their privacy, so it's important to ask for permission before taking photos of individuals, especially in rural areas. 3. Wearing revealing or inappropriate clothing. When visiting more conservative communities, it's best to dress modestly and cover up to avoid offending local sensibilities. 4. Littering or disrespecting the environment. Zambians place great value on their natural resources, so it's important to dispose of waste properly and avoid damaging the environment. 5. Engaging in illegal activities. Zambia has strict laws, and visitors should be aware of and respect local laws and regulations, especially regarding drugs, wildlife, and other sensitive issues. By being mindful of these cultural norms and practices, visitors can ensure they have a respectful and enjoyable experience in Zambia.